Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how to make a Harry Potter scarf. Okay, so in front of me I've got what we need. So I'm using, it's probably around about 10 ply yarn. I just picked it up in a bargain bin in Spotlight. And for this project you're going to need 64 needles on your bed. Now I'm using the Brother KH260 bulky machine. So if you've got a bulky machine, this pattern should be really good for you because it'll probably be pretty much the same. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to push out our 64 needles and then cast on. So I'm just going to cast on with an E-wrap. So the other thing I did as well before I started is I worked out roughly how many rows I'm going to do, and so I've actually made myself some notes here which I'll leave in the description for you. So basically we're going to do 30 of the red, 3 of the yellow, 3 of the red, 3 of the yellow, and then I know I'm going to end up on about 39, and then we're going to do 30 of the red, and it's just going to be a repeating pattern all the way down, and we're going to do in the end 498 rows, which it's going to be a really long generous scarf. The other thing we're doing as well is I'm making it quite wide, and then we're going to fold it in half, so then you haven't got a right side and a wrong side. You just fold it in half, sew it together, and then both sides will look nice. Okay, so let's cast on. So I'll just do my E-wrap, and I'll just grab my trusty peg to hold the thread down. Okay, so we've got that all the way across, and now I'm just going to feed it into section A. So for the first row, I'm just going to turn my tension up just a little bit to number 8 because this yarn is quite thick. We'll reset the counter to 0 and then just bring it across. And back again. So now I'm just going to put a little bit of weight on there. Okay, so now that I've got some weight on, I'm just going to turn it down to the tension that I want, which is number 7. On the Brother KH260 machine. So we're good to go now. So I'm going to go ahead and knit 30 rows, so there'll be 30 rows in total, and then we're going to switch to the yellow. And 30. So we've hit 30. So what we need to do now is we need to cut the yarn. Just hold it in place. Flip that down and place your yellow in. And now we're going to do 3 rows of the yellow. Now don't worry about your little tails too much. Do tie a little knot though, so that it doesn't come undone. But when we fold the scarf in half and sew it up, you won't see these tails, and both sides will look good. So like here you can see the wrong side and the right side is the other side. So when you sew it together, both sides will be the right side. Okay, so we need 3 rows of the yellow, 2 and 3, and cut your yarn again. And we put the red in. Flip it down to A. Just hold it in place as you bring it across. And I've run out of red there, so we just need to swap that over. So I'll just tie a little knot where I just joined my red. So we're doing 3 rows of the red, so I'm on my second row, you can see, and last one. And then we join the yellow again. Now I find this is the easiest way to just do the colour changes. And join the yellow. Three rows of the yellow, 1, 2, make sure you do a little knot from where you've joined. 1, 2, and 3. So now we're on 39 rows. So I wrote that in my notes. At the end of the yellow would be on 39. So we cut that again. And we join the red up again. And that brings us to 40. So just tie a knot. So now we're doing 30 rows of the red again, and this will be the continuous pattern. It's going to be 30 rows of red, 3 rows of yellow, 3 rows of red, 3 rows of yellow, and then 30 rows of red again. And you're just going to do that up the entire scarf. It is handy to write your little notes like this though, just so you know when you hit your 30 red again, what number your counter should be on, to make sure that you're following it correctly. Okay, so we've come to the last row. So I was on tension number 7. So I'm going to turn it right up to tension number 8 so we can get some nice big loops to cast off with. And there we go. So I'm just going to cut that now. Put that down. And we'll cast off. So you always cast off on the opposite side of your carriage. So we'll just bring our needles forward a little bit. And cast off. we're through. So then we'll just pull through a little knot to stop it from coming undone. And this is what it looks like. Okay, so this is what our scarf looks like now. So what we need to do now is we are going to sew together the ends with the wrong side. So it will basically be inside out, and then once we've sewn it all together, we will then pull it the right side. So if you grab yourself a box of pins, and just work your way down the length of the scarf, just pinning it all together. But be sure when you get to where your stripes are that you line it up perfectly. So where your little tails are, like here, be sure that you leave them hanging out like this so that when you sew it together, it's not going to poke through on the right side. So when you pin it together, just make sure that they all definitely are sitting on the top or underneath. So we've reached the end, and this is what it looks like when it's all pinned together. So now what we want to do is just grab our needle and our yarn, and we'll go ahead and sew all that up. Okie dokie, so I finished sewing it all together now, and I also sewed up one end of the scarf. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to turn it the right way. So you just put your arm down into the hole and then pull your scarf the right way round. So as you can see, we don't need to worry about all those little tail ends because that's hidden inside the scarf. And this is what it looks like. So all we need to do now is just sew up this end and add your tassels if you want to add tassels to it, which I think I will add some tassels. I think it would just be a nice finishing touch. So I'm just going to sew up this end. Okay, so I went ahead and put the tassels on this side. So now I'll show you how to do the tassels on the other side. So we'll just flip it over. And how I tend to make tassels is I just grab my phone case, just hold it in place, get my yarn, and we'll just wrap it around a whole bunch of times. And then, got a short bit there, never mind. Just get my scissors in there and just cut it. So now we've got a little pile of tassels that we can use. So I'm using a size 5mm hook just to poke through. You can use a bigger hook if you like, just see how you go. We're pushing through in between your stitches, and what I tend to do is I grab roughly about 3. Just find my corner, and you just push the hook through, and we pull it back through, pull it nice and high, and then pull your tassels through. Okay, I'll show you again. So I grab roughly about 3, and I'm going about roughly every second stitch. I didn't count it out on the other side, I just kind of eyeballed it, but you can count it out if you want. And you just pull them through, nice and easy. Grab your tassels, push your hook through, pull them through. And there we go. So that's how you do your tassels. So you just do that all the way along the end, and we'll see you when we finish that. Okay, so I've just finished putting on all my tassels. So all I'm going to do now is just roughly trim it. And there we go, that's the Harry Potter scarf complete. And this is what it looks like. So if you like my video, please subscribe and like it please. Thank you very much, I hope you enjoyed it.